What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments, back with another pre-market YOLO update. So, yesterday we was flat down a little, and as the time of this recording, we flat down a little, down like 80 bucks. We at 16.8, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna tell y'all, what I did yesterday. I did buy another Palantir call, and that's pretty much it. I just let my positions ride out. I want to see if this rally is going to be more sustained, and we're going to talk about it all right here. So first with the Palantir position, like I said, Palantir pulled back yesterday. It was actually down like a little percent and some change. So I actually bought a call, at those levels, and we're going to see what happens with it. It's this May 25th call, the pullback. It took a little bit of gains on the calls we already had, but we all good on that. We're going to see if they ride. We're going to see if they don't ride. They come back down. We'll get back to buying puts, buying a dip, things like that. But for now, that's where we at with it. As the time is recording, we still at 96.88 shares of Palantir, trying to go and get up to that 100. You know what I'm saying? All from trading it. And that's where we at with that position. Soundhound position then bounced back. So that's got me looking like I need the lower quality companies to start rallying for me to really be like, okay, the rally's back in effect. We out of the water yet. You know what I'm saying? Just because Trump, he's not talking to tariffs is heavy right now, but that doesn't mean, it could return later. You see what I'm saying? So, Tesla, they doing their thing. They had another update yesterday. They down pre-market at the time of this recording. So we're going to see what happens today. But I still like Tesla. SPY, SPY hanging in there. We got 993 in the SPY right now. Vistra is still down a little bit. Walmart still down. Need to add to that when I get a chance. Nvidia's at 118. Anything on Nvidia under 120 is still a deal in my eyes. So I'm going to be buying as much of that as I can under 120. I bet in MicroStrategy, hanging in there, doing what Bitcoin does, being volatile, going flat, making everybody forget about it. So, we adding the IBIT. We need to add some MicroStrategy when we get a chance, but we ain't had time to do that yet. Still got down on Meta. IBM, I think I'm going to be stepping up my weight on IBM. I already liked IBM, and I've been hearing a lot of things on Wall Street. People are really starting to say, like, hey, they got quantum, they got AI. As my boy Dan Ives saying, this is not your dad's IBM, so we might be starting to really add to IBM. I actually noticed IBM held up the best out of a lot of these stocks during the dip. I was very impressed with the way IBM performed during this dip. So, might be adding that a lot more soon. Robinhood at 48 almost. They trying to reclaim, those higher levels. They just introduced the sports betting. So, they just expanding to different verticals. They're trying to get not as correlated with the stock market itself. And if they can pull that off, that would make the stock an even greater buy. We got all types of people adding to Robinhood, taking out the Fidelities of the world, the Schwabs of the world, and going to Robinhood. They got the credit cards. So, their business is growing, expanding, and, we adding to it. Got Google and Amazon still down. Need to add to that. And, Advanced Auto Parts called. They ain't turning around yet. So that's where we at with it now. And let's look at some of these positions. Some of these stocks. See what's going on out here. So as the time is recording, we got a QQQ flat down. SPY flat up. Palantir's down. Flat down. Nvidia's down 1.7 pre-market. Tesla's down 1.4. Everything was flat yesterday. For the most part, Tesla did go up 3.5 yesterday. So the way I'm looking at today, I want to see how this plays out, actually. I want to see how this plays out. I'm just scrolling the charts. Because we're having 2 flat days in a row. We did have a 3-day win streak on the the SPY. So, that's something to pay attention to, we might break that soon. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I say, stocks was flat. Let's look at these charts real quick. Alright, so pre-market on Palantir, we are here. It's not a bad place to be. We got this fair value gap. We tested it. I want to see if we can, I don't want us to pull back to the middle of it, because that'd be down. But if we were to pull back to the middle of it, I'd probably get involved. We still need to break the rest of this older fair value gap. I need us to get above this 100 level to really prove the strength. I don't want to see us get knocked back below 91.86 from a technical point of view. Because then we would invert this fair value gap. No, we wouldn't invert it, but that would be the buy sign. That'll be the buy sign because we got this new one here. If they keep tanking, we could probably go all the way back to like the 80s, 82, something like that, 85, something like that. But if they hold up strength and break above this 100, I'd be looking at this 108. I'd be looking at this 108. I'd be looking at this 108 at that point, yeah. Yeah, they break that, I'm looking at this 108 area, and then we got to see if they can break this area. That's all the way up to like 120. If we was to break that, we'd be at all-time highs, basically. So, you know, we going to see what happens. You know, it's all about the macro. Trump can't say nothing crazy or none of that's going to happen. Let's go to NVIDIA, down 1.8% pre-market. Let's see. So they're saying NVIDIA is about to open here, below the 200. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. They did not break their 200 yet. They still at equilibrium. So, with that being said, I'm not saying NVIDIA just finna tank again, but from a technical point of view, it's still not necessarily ready yet. It could come back down to this 114. What we really needed to do, we needed to break the 200 EMA for one, but we also really needed to break equilibrium at some point. So we really need to see NVIDIA get like 123 or higher. That's what I like to see to get them to go up. And if they were to do that, we'd be aiming for like 125. But on the downside, I'm watching out for like this 114 level. Things got worse, this 112 level for now. Of course, we got like order blocks down here. But, you know, unless we get bad macro, I don't think we going necessarily back down there unless Trump says something crazy. Bad data comes out, something of that nature. But let's look at the next one. Tesla. Yeah, let's go Tesla. Let's go Tesla. Okay, Tesla. They trying. They trying. So it looks like they're going to open about here. They're coming to the 200. It's all about what happens at this 200, people. If they can do the right thing at this 200, they might be back in business. But they are saying the quarter isn't going to be great. And I believe them. You know, BYD's gaining on them. The autonomous cars aren't out yet. The robots aren't out yet. So until the autonomous cars and the robots come out, I don't know what Elon's going to do about the standard car business. So it might tank again. But if you really believe in Tesla, this could be one of the biggest buying opportunities of the decade. So, you know, I'm still messing with Tesla, man. So market's about to open. Time of this recording, looks like we still finna be flat. Look like some of the stocks giving back a little bit of gains, but nothing too crazy for now. I'm gonna be looking at the news. I'm gonna be looking at the chart, and you know, I'm gonna give y'all every update. I'm gonna start doing, you know, more videos, maybe more specific on some of my entries, like give y'all boys like a little mini Discord experience without dropping the Discord. I'm still gonna do that for y'all, but you know, it's about free game over here. So, you know, anyone who want to pay for a Discord, I'm cool with that. But, you know, I got to, you know, feed whoever watching me. You know what I'm saying? So if I see a good level and I can kind of get that to y'all in a way where y'all could, like, take advantage of it, I'm going to try and do that in some coming videos. And it's your boy Steve from Printing Gang Investments. And I'm going to see y'all soon.